I should have known better than to think I could outshine Daniel in his own circle. My husband had always been the quiet one, the guy who never needed to be the center of attention. I thought it made him boring, safe, predictable. I thought I could play with that. Twist it to my advantage. But I was wrong. What I didn't realize is that people respect quiet confidence more than forced theatrics, and by the time I realized my mistake, it was too late. It all started with an idea I thought was brilliant. Daniel had a big promotion at work. His first real leadership role after years of being the dependable guy. Honestly, I hadn't expected him to get it. He's the type who doesn't brag, doesn't network aggressively, doesn't wine and dine the bosses. Meanwhile, I've always been the social one, the person who can walk into a room and have 10 people laughing within minutes. So when he actually landed the promotion, I felt two things, surprise and then irritation. Because when people started congratulating him, all I kept hearing was, "You deserve it, Daniel. No one works harder than you, Daniel. You're the rock of this company." And the more they praised him, the smaller I felt. It wasn't about me anymore. I was suddenly just his wife, the accessory, the background character. So I decided to fix that. I planned a surprise celebration. But not just any surprise party. My idea was to turn it into a roast, the kind of event where everyone could poke fun at him, drag him down a peg, and I'd come out as the witty, sparkling hostess who made the night unforgettable. I told myself it was harmless fun. But deep down, I wanted to remind everyone that Daniel wasn't this untouchable golden boy. When I pitched the idea to a couple of his coworkers, they hesitated. "Are you sure Daniel would like that?" one of them asked. I brushed it off, insisting he had a great sense of humor and would love it. In truth, I never asked him. I just assumed he'd take it. After all, I was his wife. Who knew him better than me? The night of the party, I went all out. Decorations, catering, drinks. The works. People showed up expecting to toast Daniel's big achievement. Instead, I kicked off with a microphone in hand, telling everyone that tonight was going to be extra special. My first joke? A jab at how Daniel still couldn't fix a leaky faucet after 6 years of marriage. Some people laughed politely. He smiled thinly. I kept going. I teased his hairline, his habit of double-checking spreadsheets, even the way he snored. Every time I landed a punchline, I felt a little thrill. Like I was reclaiming some of the spotlight. A few guests chuckled awkwardly, but the room's energy was shifting. What I thought was witty banter was starting to feel mean. Then I crossed a line. Without thinking, I joked about how I didn't even expect him to get the promotion since he's not exactly leadership material at home. The room went silent. Daniel just stared at me, his expression unreadable. I laughed nervously and tried to move on, but the air was thick. People weren't laughing with me anymore. They were uncomfortable. One of his colleagues, a woman who clearly admired him, stood up and interrupted me. "Actually, Daniel is one of the best leaders I've ever worked with. He doesn't need to put others down to shine." Her words landed like a punch. Others murmured in agreement, and suddenly it was like the whole room had turned against me. Then Daniel did something I didn't expect. He calmly took the mic from my hand, thanked me for the attempt, and then gave a short speech. He didn't roast me back, didn't snap, didn't humiliate me. He just spoke about gratitude. How grateful he was to his team, his mentors, and even me for organizing the night. But there was a subtle weight in his voice when he said it, like he was reminding me in front of everyone what respect actually looked like. And then it happened. People started clapping. Not for me. For him. For his dignity, his grace under pressure, his quiet authority. In the span of 5 minutes, Daniel had turned what I intended as his humiliation into a showcase of his character. And me? I was left standing there, exposed as petty and small. The rest of the night was a blur. Conversations flowed. But not toward me. People huddled around Daniel, asking about his vision for the team, congratulating him sincerely. I tried to insert myself into discussions, but every time I opened my mouth, the memory of my jokes hung in the air. I felt like a child who had acted out for attention and been politely ignored. Later, at home, Daniel didn't yell. He didn't accuse. He just asked one simple question. Why did you feel like you needed to do that? I had no answer. Or rather, I had too many ugly answers I didn't want to admit. Jealousy, insecurity, the need to always be the star. He looked at me for a long moment, and then went to bed without another word. The silence was worse than any shouting match. Over the next few weeks, I noticed the shift. At company events, I wasn't invited to contribute to conversations anymore. People were cordial but distant. They admired Daniel more than ever, but me? I was the woman who tried to tear him down. Even friends started to drift, subtly gravitating toward him. I thought I could handle being the center of attention. I thought I could control the narrative. But in trying to embarrass Daniel, I only embarrassed myself. My attempt to win back the spotlight proved exactly why I didn't deserve it. Daniel never brought it up again, but things changed between us. He still included me in his life, still treated me with respect, but I could feel the distance. He no longer looked at me as his partner in crime, the person he could lean on. Instead, he handled things on his own, with the same quiet strength that had earned him the promotion in the first place. And for the first time, I realized just how badly I had underestimated him. Because in the end, I didn't outshine him. I only spotlighted my own flaws. And Daniel? He walked away the clear winner. Without ever having to lift a finger.